set to get this one tipped and underway. Vikings in their green road jerseys, Redhawks in their white. We're ready for some Northwest basketball here on ESPN+. Tip is won, and the Vikings will control the first possession. Fitzgerald, near side on the wing.
See Seattle U coming out in the early zone.
Nearly a steal right there. Kozlova nearly took that one away. Instead of three-point shot, bottom of the net. Taylor Moffitt, the junior guard. She's out there. Reba Oglet, Lana Wanger, Lainey Torres, Kayape, and Alea Fitzgerald. For head coach Chelsea Gregg in her 4th season. Been in the program much longer as an assistant coach as well. Again, as they come in 0-2, shot under the rim, no good that time for Candy Edogopepe.
Beautiful pass.
And Vikings getting out on the break and to finish quickly up 5-0 here on the road.
Yeah, just a lot of athleticism on the Vikings. You can see that's their center running the floor like that, untouched.
Ogale with the lay, 5-0 here, dipping under 9 minutes, 1 minute off the clock. Trying to work it inside all the Redhawks. Bryan has it, goes up to a lot of contact and finishes.
You can see both teams establishing that post presence right away.
Starting lineup for head coach Skyler Young in his 2nd season at the helm of the program. Taisia Kosalova out there with Sheridan Liggett getting the start today. Candy Edo-Pique, Sydney Rodriguez, and Chisteina Bryan.
Yeah,
And again, another shot knocked down for the Vikings. Coming out in fuego.
Yeah, and that's Seattle U in that zone. You can see the 2 top guards are guarding the same people. I want to see more bumping from Seattle U there on defense.
Liggett, who's getting the start today. Strickland got the start in the last game against Sam Houston. Scoop shot no good. Off to rebound corralled there by Bryan. And goes up and good. Chisteina Bryan with all 4 early points here for the Redhawks.
Oh, keep the pressure up here. Wow, that's just amazing point guardness, if that's even a word.
It is now
Yes.
as we get the foul. And that one is going to go against Liggett. And that was a problem in the last game, and we'll actually get back to that real quick, is checking in for the first time this season, Juliana Walker. We know how deadly she is behind the arc. But Olivia, turnovers, as you know, as a guard, huge problem for this team right now. 32 turnovers the Redhawks had against Sam Houston. Got to clean that up.
Absolutely, definitely got to clean that up. Especially with the post presence. Seattle, you can help themselves out by pounding that ball inside into the paint with good bounce passes.
Juliana Walker, first game of the year, already diving on the hardwood.
Much better defense here from Seattle U.
Down to 5 on the shot clock for the Vikings. Step back 3 for Moffitt. Not sure if that touched the rim. Saved. And who did it last touch? They're going to say off a green jersey. Red Hawk ball. First substitution for the Vikings as well is Joy Halton will come into the ball game. Local product out of Juanita High School. So a lot of Raven fans here in the stands.
Yeah.
Always good to see. Such a hotbed of talent is the Seattle surrounding area, metro area. And we see it across all Division I, all divisions actually of college basketball. 3-point shot teed up, left of the rim, no good that time. And foul's going to be called off the Rodriguez miss. Looks like it's going to go against Chelsea Gregg's squad.
Yeah, you can just see those O-boards from Seattle U, just relentless. I mean, one person is dominating the Vikings. I want to see Vikings get in there and box out just a tad bit more so they can get in their early transition offense.
So it'll be on the putback attempt. Chisteina Bryan will be at the free throw line on the season. 50%, just 1 of 2. Third attempt of the year, flushes finally after it rolls around the rim. Brandon Ford, grad transfer coming in out of St. Thomas, Jamaica, standing 6'3", knocks them both down.
She's on her way to a monster game tonight if she can sustain this. The pressure here.
After the Vikings had a lot of the early success, the Redhawks coming right back in. Look at the deflection out of bounds.
Right, and sometimes that press isn't necessarily to get a steal. It's just to speed the offense up, and you can definitely see the Vikings in the front court speed themselves up almost into a turnover.
And Opaiba is the one who got into the passing lane, knocked that one free. Baseline inbound here for the Vikings. Heavy defense there. Edopaiba.
Yeah, they're not
Corner, three
not
ball,
defending
teed up.
those corners.
Offensive rebound, one power dribble. Trying to get the contact and a shuffling of the feet that time for Wenger. And a turnover here for the Vikings. Taisia Kozlo over. Short break for her. She checks back into the ball game, taking out Chisteina Bryan, who said early on has been the one pacing these Redhawks.
You see Seattle U with 3 guards in this offensive set. See what they can get going offensively.
And to point out, Vikings in that zone defense. Corner three ball, left it short that time. Rising up for the rebound, Ugle. Approaching the 6-minute mark here early on, 2-point lead for Portland State. An illegal screen going the way of the Redhawks. Foul's going to go against Joy Haltom. As we said, the local product.
Yeah, and you can tell Holton was ready to shoot that 3. She was going to set that horns, and then she was going to flare to hit that 3. So look for that moving forward.
Juliana Walker into the front court. Kicks it corner. Keslova works it back out to Juliana Walker.
Not a whole
Vikings
lot of space.
swarming. Walker, too much space for her, and knocks it down. That's what the Redhawks have missed in the first 2 games of the season. She is an absolute sniper from 3.
Exactly. Walker takes the top off the defense. You have to respect her from, at least 30 feet, right outside of half court. So it just spaces out the defense naturally.
Foul's going to go with the Redhawks. Look like they had the trap, but too much hand in there is what's going to be called. Sheridan Leggett is going to pick up her second already. And Sheridan was one of 4 Redhawks to foul out in that Sam Houston game. Kaslova fouled out. Edopaiba along with Bryan. And you just can't have that today at home.
Yeah, she's got to get her hands out of the cookie jar there. She's too important to this team to, be saddled with fouls. She probably won't be able to go back in until middle of the way through second quarter.
Wenger, the inbounder. Capia finally gets the inbound. Ogle kind of working that nail right there. They go away from her. She's posted up now down low. Down to 6 on the shot clock. Scoop pass inside and good. Fitzgerald with a beautiful dime finishing off is Ogle.
Yeah, just taking what the defense gives her, driving into the teeth of the defense where they have to react, and then you see her with the nice dump off.
Portland State back out in front here, 10-9.
Good find.
Inside, again, a lot of contact, turnaround shot, hits the heel, no good. Again, quick pace in this game already. Another 3-ball knocked down, teed up. Wenger coming off 18 points, the team high in that loss to San Francisco, picking up where she left off. Dribbling into a 3-point shot. Again, not sure that grazed, but it doesn't matter, out of bounds either way. And that'll take us to our media timeout. Both teams shooting well. 13-9 though, Portland State with the lead on their trip up north. We'll be right back here on ESPN+. Welcome back to Seattle, 13-9. Portland State with the early first quarter lead here. They have possession here, looking to add to that. Both teams in zone defense so far. Olivia, what are the benefits there of that zone compared to going man?
Yeah, I mean, just the length and being able to match up athletically. I don't think Portland State has a whole lot of athletes that can beat them off the dribble, so it helps them to be able to. But then when you leave the corners open like that,
Again, best way to break a zone, quick passing right there.
To the corners too, and that's the third three that's been open, like on the corner, deep wings. So they're doing a good job up top, but then it's just swing, three ball. Can't have that.
Torres Kahapea with the three there now extends the Viking lead, 16-9. Redhawks looking to reignite their offense. Look at the three, then a drive inside and just hangs up on the rim that time on the attempt for Candy Edopaiba. But good, again, good look.
Yeah, I'd like to see her do more of that. I'd like to see some plays called for her because I don't think there's anybody in the gym that can stay in front of her.
Very quick first step. Backdoor cut, Redhawks did not see it. Worked around, another open three. This time Fitzgerald off the lip. Olivia Moore pressing the issue, stops at the free throw line. Redhawks will reset.
Like to see the Redhawks work the ball inside here.
Pull up and going to get a legal screen this time against the Redhawks. That was going to go against Chisteina Bryan. That'll be her first.
Yeah, and that's coming because Olivia Moore's got to be able to get that three ball going. They went under the screen, and so the post player just had no choice but to just roll, and she rolls into the guard. So she's got to be able to. They got to be able to respect that jumper from Olivia Moore.
Yeah, the Redhawks in the last game against Sam Houston, 32 turnovers. Another one there. Can the Vikings capitalize? No good on that one. Flying in from behind. Are they going to go over the back? Yes, they are.
See Sheridan back in the game with those two fouls. She took two massive hits just there. She's mad. She's looking at the bench. She's mad at her teammates for not calling the foul, or the screen. But
yeah, you get laid out on those. I mean, that's a teammate accountability there.
Absolutely, and now she's probably mad, so she's going to give us about 5 points this quarter. We'll see.
Lotta Wenger was the one guilty of the over the back there for the Vikings. Sets up a T-ball there. Kasalova no good.
It's really nice tempo to this ball game so far.
Bounce pass right at the free throw line, knocked down the midi.
Yep.
Rima Ugale.
It's money right there. That's her shot.
9-point advantage for the visitors. Liggett. Another three ball, Kasalova. This time, no good again.
Yeah, those are good shots for Kasalova. She's got to make them pay for coming off strong side. I would like to see her be a little bit more toes to the line. She's shooting some deep threes, and I think to get her confidence going, she's got to get her toes to the line.
Drive inside, scoop. What a finish inside. Torres Kahapea.
Yeah, Coach Skylar Young doesn't want to call a timeout here after the media, but that drive was show-stopping. I mean, wow, reverse layup.
Double-digit lead, biggest of the night so far. Obviously just the first quarter. Vikings playing well there. Step through and no good off the glass. Little too soft there for Bryan, and then insult to injury. A foul's going to be picked up as well. Looks like Kasalova was the one, not Bryan.
Yeah, these are frustration fouls. Seattle U's shots aren't really falling right now, and you got Portland State doing super reverse layups like that. So it's a little bit frustrating. So Seattle U has to stay in their head, chip away, get some rebounds.
Dribble handoff here to Brown. Brown tried to thread the needle. Liggett takes another shot. Yeah. And she's out here playing rugby at this point. Because, my goodness, she's shaking shoulders, hips.
Yes. I'm worried about her, but she's as tough as they come.
Redshirt sophomore guard out of Mapleton, Utah. Playing on the shot clock here at 10 for the Vikings. Fitzgerald.
Swing.
Down to three. Got to get something out. Back to Fitzgerald. Three-point shot is good. Tickles the twine. She throws up the three. And right now, Portland State in fuego.
Yeah, nothing but net. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do with that. Talk about toes to the line. She's 5 feet off that line.
23-9. How quickly things have ballooned here inside the Red Hawks Center.
Yeah, Seattle U guards aren't really using screens.
Walker rips, launches a three, and man, she doesn't need much space.
They needed that.
Tech-town zone, Juliana Walker up to 6 points. Her and right now, Chisteina Bryan, the only 2 Red Hawks to score in this first quarter. Both with 6. Vikings again downhill. Looked like a little bit of an alley-oop situation there. They tried to feed the ball to Ugle, but out of bounds it goes. Shot clock off, 20 seconds here for SU to close out the quarter on a high note.
We'll see what play they look to run. Maybe they'll get Koslova going a little bit. I mean, I would go back with Walker. She's got 2 straight threes in this quarter, or 2 threes in this quarter, excuse me.
You could tell she missed being out on the hardwood. Down to 6. Liggett, spin move to the right hand, drives in, sees Park, goes up, and what a rejection! Coming over, Ogale absolutely pads that to the baseline.
Yeah, no comment on that one. That's just amazing athletic play. Well, that's help side defense.
My goodness. Ogale doing what a 6'3" senior is supposed to.
Right.
Inbound bounce pass inside, up and good. Good connection there as Taisia Kasalova, ESPN Plus's coverage of women's college basketball. Right now, Northwest matchup between the Vikings and the Red Hawks. Little city rivalry as well. Obviously, Seattle and Portland have that rivalry on I-5, but this one helped the Red Hawks as Vikings pretty much controlled that first half, but getting that by Kasalova right there for the Red Hawks definitely gives them some momentum heading into the second quarter. Still a 9-point game here, though. Inside, and that's a good way to get the second half started. Chisteina Bryan now up to 8 points. Team high breaks the tie with Juliana Walker.
Yeah, and that was delivered by a beautiful pass, you know, obviously, and then it was the screen that really got it going there.
Ball being worked around, drive inside, and a bump is going to be called. I believe it's going to go against Bryan, and that will be her first. Baseline inbound. Jamia Carter, the inbounder here for Portland State. Olivia, so far, one thing that really stands out is how quickly they're passing the ball around.
Absolutely, and that's the length of the Seattle U zone.
3-point shot knocked down.
Not long enough, I'll say that. Their hands are there, but like you said, they're just whipping the ball around so fast. They don't even need to make any dribble penetration.
Try to hand off to Juliana Walker, taken away here by Moffitt. Moffitt coast to coast, off to steal. Oh no, can't finish the layup. Offensive rebound. This one a mid-range shot. No good either from Carter. Scrum on the floor. Held ball is going to be in favor of Portland State. That seemed like an easy steal and finish on the other side, but Moffitt just couldn't get it off the glass.
Yeah, Moffitt was gone. I mean, she probably just ran a 440 there, and then obviously sometimes it happens when you're by yourself. She'll make the next one, though.
Brown flicks it in. 3-point shot again. Fitzgerald, no good. And the offensive rebounds right now very much in favor of Portland State.
Yeah, and Seattle U has to adjust, you know, with these offensive boards and then these wide open threes. And here's another one.
This a three again, left short, ball tipped in. Portland State nearly had it again for the Red Hawks, poked it free. So far on the season, a negative 13.5 per game rebound margin for the Red Hawks. And as you see on the other end, a foul is going to be called, and going to the free throw line will be Edo Paiba. But again, with a turnover ratio we talked about, assisted turnover is 0.3 on the season. Rebound margin, negative 13.5. And I said 32 turnovers in your last game. Right now, it's just not clean, fundamental basketball right now for the Red Hawks.
Right, and I'm not sure if that's a microcosm of them not really knowing each other too well because it's the beginning of the season and a lot of new faces. or if it's just like the general like ball skills there. Because I mean, in that possession there, I would like to see Candy be able to kick it to a 3-point shooter in the open court, getting each other going, because it's really hard to score 1-on-5 every single possession. I really like the way Seattle U opened it, with getting Bryan the ball inside on that pick and roll. I want to see more of that. That's how you get your assists going and you limit your turnovers when you play as a team.
And you said not quite knowing each other as you see a foul there as Red Hawks pick up another one. Obviously you were a guard and you're more not rebounding, not necessarily your forte, but what is it about knowing your teammates when it comes to even boxing out and marking who you're going to box out?
Yeah, definitely boxing out and then knowing who's going to rebound. It has to be rebounding by committee. It can't just be, oh, Bryan's going to get in there or Koslova's going to get in there. The guard's got to get in there. I want to see Sheridan's a natural rebounder, especially a couple years ago. As we see offensive foul hooking here. I'm glad they called that, because post players get away with that a lot. But as I was seeing, Sheridan's a very good rebounder. I would like to see a lot of the new faces get in there and grab those boards so it could be rebounding by committee as opposed to just one or two people.
I like how you had to throw that in there. The bigs get away with that too much.
Oh, yeah. That hook hurt.
Guards don't get away with anything.
Oh, no, we don't.
Inside, and you see Candy was looking for a foul there. Even said something to the official, but nothing called.
Yeah, and that's that frustration trying to go 1-on-5. I like the athleticism. I like the play, but it's got to come out of more of a set, or else it's just playing with fire there.
Fitzgerald bounce pass entry to Ogale. Turn around, fader on the baseline. A little too strong. Rodriguez stuck on the block, picks up her dribble. Mid-range shot is good, and right now Chisteina Bryan is putting the Red Hawks on her back.
Yeah, absolutely. They needed that, and even that was out of a broken play that I didn't really like very much. I want to see them slow it down, or if you're going to go in transition, go with purpose as opposed to just running and picking up your dribble.
Bryan in double digits, has 10 points. And again, that was better offense, but just the finish wasn't there.
There we go. Where's our shooters? We don't have any shooters? Yeah. See, that's that transition, and you see Coach Skyler here and tell him to pull it out. Let's go Red Horns.
Liggett pressured up on her is Torres Capella. 3-point shot, no good. Was lined up just a bit too strong.
Yeah, and that was a tired possession from both teams, but definitely from Seattle U. The screens weren't really there. The pop was slow. That shot will be open if it's set right and executed with intention.
Fitzgerald near side wing, tacks downhill. A little bit of a roll. And the elbow jump shot, no good from Ogale.
Yeah, they're tired now.
Definitely see the pace of this game. It's definitely some heavy legs right now. And scoop shot up and under. Beautiful finish there from Sydney Rodriguez.
There we go. They needed that as you see a timeout. I knew it was coming.
26-21. Red Hawks have slowly but surely chipped away to get back into this one. And right now, that's what they need. 30-second timeout. We'll stay here on this one. But right now, that's what you want to see. More of the Red Hawks attacking downhill. But right now, they're benefiting as well from Portland State starting as hot as they were in that first quarter. They're missing some of the gimmicks right now, which has allowed the Red Hawks to come back into it.
Yeah, it definitely is. I'm a little surprised. You can see Coach Gregg is not happy either, as she calls that early timeout. But, I mean, Seattle U's chipping away. I still want to see them move the ball a little bit more and get into a set. And then Portland State, maybe they just got out to that double-digit lead and they kind of just relaxed a little bit. They can't relax. Like, as you said, Russ, they haven't won a game this season, so there's no reason for you to feel like you got it in the bag. So I'd like to see the Vikings keep pounding that ball inside, be a little bit more intentional with the screens being set so they can hit those threes that they like so much, especially getting out in transition as well.
26-21 our score here inside the Red Hawks Center. The 2024-25 home opener for Seattle U women's basketball opened up at crosstown rivals Washington. Didn't go the way of the Red Hawks. That was a tough one on the road. Inner city on the road, much like Portland State knows that feeling, going to Portland as well. So, having that same kind of rivalry between two teams, not in the same conference. Right. You don't see each other all the time, but when you do, obviously you want to get the win. Red Hawks dropped that one, then played Sam Houston, as we said, former WAC conference opponent, and came up short there, 57-69 to the Bearcats. And then speaking of those Portland Pilots, that's who's up next for the Red Hawks on Tuesday, November 19th, as they head down to the Rose City. On the flip side for Chelsea Greg Squad, as I said, 4th season at the helm of the program. Spent 6 seasons prior to that as an assistant coach. They're coming off a loss to San Francisco, 56-62, a close one there. Up next, Cal State Fullerton back home in the PDX. So both these teams would like to go into their next matchups, big matchups, with at least one win. You don't want to go into that next one 0-3.
Absolutely. It definitely, especially when you're a young team or like a new team, you have so many high hopes for the season, and then it kind of just like you get punched in the mouth a couple of times. You're like, whoa, maybe we're not as good as we anticipated. But you got to stay the course. Obviously, one of these teams is going to be 0-3. And another one of these teams is going to be 1-2, which also isn't that great. So you just want to see them stay the course. It's a long season. The preseason, technically, and these non-conference games are meant to prepare you for the WAC and the Western Conference. So you just want to make sure you're trying your best to get everybody involved, pick up really good habits going into conference play.
Out of the timeout, Redhawks have cut the deficit down to 5. Portland State now a bit on their heels. Again, the offense has been working so far, as you see the pressure applied by the Redhawks, trapped near midcourt. And drive inside again, another one of those point-blank ones that just isn't finished. Good job by Torres Capella to just tip that one up and regain possession. Down to 6.
Yeah, it didn't hit the rim, though, so like you said, Russ, only 6 seconds.
Fitzgerald, no one stepped up to stop her, and again, that was an easy look right there, all things considered, and a miss for the Vikings.
Yeah, I think she was so surprised that she was wide open. You see Kostalova.
Oh, man, knocked down. Hit the rim, hit the backboard. All that matters is it hit the net.
She needed that to get her confidence going.
Just like that, a 2-point game. Redhawks waking up.
And also, that was off an assist, too. A beautiful pass in transition. Like, you need more of that. That's a beautiful pass.
Moffitt extends the range, no good.
Transition. Showtime here for Candy. Finding her shooters. I love it.
Edopaiba gives it up. Leggett and trail. And hits the 3, 27-26. Leggett, as you said, look for your shooters. She knew exactly, posted right there at the 3-point arc and knocked it down.
Absolutely. I don't know if they heard me or whatever, but that's how you run a transition break. It doesn't always have to be you Showtime. That's a beautiful pass by Candy.
They should always be listening to you, Olivia.
Always.
As we see a tumble and a held ball should be in favor of the Redhawks now for the possession arrow. As Brown just slipped on the court there. Ogale will check back into the ball game.
As you were seeing, Russ, this rebounding by committee thing, and I'm not sure who got that last rebound, but when you do get, if a guard does get the rebound, then your transition is so much better. No shade to the post players. It's great with the post players as well, but it is a little bit alleviated when the guard gets it.
Redhawks on an 11-0 run over the last 3.5 minutes of action here. Liggett trying to add to that, no good that time. Offensive rebound, and a foul is going to be called as bodies hit the floor again. But look at Candy Edopaiba. Flying in there, getting active. Again, she is not a post. She is a guard at 5'11", but she's definitely been down to the painted area.
Yes, and I really like, the officials, that call probably could have gone either way. It probably could have went the Vikings' way. As you see, they're pretty frustrated. But that just is all hustle, and sometimes you get rewarded with a lot of hustle. It did look like she jumped straight up and then got the defender a little bit with the body.
Redhawks looking to add on to their slim 1-point lead here. Baseline inbound.
Some good out-of-bounds plays.
Casalova has definitely been teeing them up today. No good on that one.
See what the Vikings look to run here.
Trying to find somebody. Taking the tumble there was Moore. And one power dribble up and no good.
Another one, Russ. Another at the okay, wait a minute.
Man, Candy very athletic, but not quite able to catch up to that one. It sails out of bounds into the newly formed Redhawk band. Definitely brought a great atmosphere inside of the Redhawk Center. Great addition.
Absolutely, great addition, and it's good to see some hometown, the young kids out here with the music, and then we see, like we said, since we're just right down the street on I-5, there's a lot of people here tonight supporting their loved ones, and that's amazing too. It's a great atmosphere.
Good contingency from Portland State. Obviously, as we said, local product. They enjoy Haltom. but also just some Viking fans in general, as well as a good crowd on hand for the Redhawks in their home opener. And that one's not even a forced turnover. That's just a mental lapse right there for Portland State.
Yeah, and you can see like the passing angles aren't as maybe this lineup in particular. So I'll see if Coach Gregg looks to make any adjustments there. But it looked like they didn't have a clear plan going there.
You saw Chelsea Gregg after that turnover kind of just give the calm down, slow down kind of hand gesture.
Yeah.
As the turnover's picking up for her squad. Juliana Walker, 2 threes already. A little bit of a hezzy there. Hands off. Olivia Moore gets down on the block. Shot. No good. And tie up. And no, they're going to instead call a foul on Kasalova. That'll be her second.
Yeah, I like the attack from Olivia. I mean, I think she's pressing just a little bit because, I mean, her shot's not falling. She just got to stay composed. I like her size as a point guard. She just needs to stay composed and keep making smart decisions.
Portland State 0 of their last 11. 3 turnovers in the last 5.5 minutes, which is the same exact span that their scoring drought has spread over.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, when was the last time they scored? And it's been, 5 minutes or so.
It's creeping up on 6 now.
Yeah.
As the Vikings trying to end that, and a foul is going to be called.
2,
and
3.
Coach Skylar Young, I think he wants that to be a player control, at least the offensive foul there. So it's going to go against Chisteina Bryan. That'll be her 3rd already, and I believe she's got to probably come out here.
Yeah, I think so too. And then the official called it armbar. I'm a little confused with that. I would have called it a block, but
Chisteina, one of those 4 Redhawks to foul out in their last game.
Oh, that's tough. Good no call there.
Nearly a steal leads to an open Viking 3, no good.
Yeah, that might be, okay. Whew, that was very lucky. That was almost 4 fouls on Bryan.
That would have been very bad. She checks out, especially when you have someone waiting to check in for you.
Yes.
As Wenger's 3 was no good.
Yeah, you can see Coach Skylar Young playing he's walking the line. He's got Sheridan in the game. He had Bryan in the game with both with 2 fouls. I mean, I don't know if that was what happened in the last game against Sam Houston, but I can definitely see the reason how they probably fouled out, because you got to have him in the game. Ooh.
And turnover here. Coach Young screaming that was a foul. That's the call he wants. He's not going to get it.
Yeah. Nice play drawn up for Candy, though. I think that one she just got to catch. Maybe she lost her footing, but she's got to catch that and come down with it.
4th turnover on the Redhawks. Vikings currently at 6th.
I can't get backdoored like that.
Good cut, and that ends the drought there for the Vikings. As Torres Cajapea finally gets Portland State back on the board and actually gives them the lead as well, as the Redhawks were just up by 1. Walker again, 3, and a foul before. Shot was no good regardless, but again, the foul adds on to the pain of the first missed 3 of the day for Juliana Walker.
Yeah, there's a lot of player control fouls tonight. I would like to see the athletes be a little bit more disciplined on their screens. I know they're trying to get people open, but both teams are in the bonus. They've been in the bonus for a couple of minutes now, so it's hard to get a flow when it's so many, foul here, foul there, turnover here. Both teams got to get it going.
Kaslova will check out. She also has 3 fouls, so something you want to monitor there if you're Skylar Young. Drive inside, and the reach-in's going to be called. Are they going to get Walker? They are.
Yeah.
That should be in the act of shooting as well.
And you're going to see probably Walker get a sub here. She got beat on the back door, then she's getting beat on the drive here. As much as she is on offense, I've got to see her stay in front of her defender or her offensive player on defense.
Another local product into the ball game out of the 206, Lucy Larson, 5'10" freshman from West Seattle High School. Checks in, and no good on the first free throw attempt there from Mary Carter. 77% coming in, 7 of 9, now 7 of 10. She had no points in 8 minutes in that last game against San Francisco, and she goes over 2 at the line, and Larson, who just checked in, corrals the rebound.
You just love that from the freshman. Lucy Larson is a really good kid. I'm biased, but it's good to see her get in there and make a hustle play.
Leggett will step back to the Hawkhead here at midcourt.
Love watching Sheridan handle the ball like this.
Driving in a Haltom, and foul will be called. So Leggett will be at the free throw line, shooting 2. And the officials are going to huddle up and discuss this first.
Yeah, and see the continuation there. Now, if we were in the NBA, this would be a no
Yo, without a doubt. Are they going to count it? They are.
Count the bucket.
So count the bucket. Foul was actually against Moffitt. That'll be the first one against her. So Sheridan, chance to complete the three-point play the old-fashioned way. She had 14 points on 4 of 9 shooting. Team high 4 assists in that loss at Sam Houston. Again, fouled out. Also had 7 turnovers alone in that game. Got to have better ball control from your guards.
Yes, definitely. And I definitely can see why she's thrust into this point guard role now. I don't know if that's her. Yeah, we're going to stay here. We're going to shoot more free throws.
Oh, good job. And who else in the center of it? It's Candy Otapaiba. The second one against Wenger.
Yeah, that's happened because Wenger wasn't really boxing out. She just stiff arming, and she's too good for that. She's got to put a body on there, and that's what her coach is assisting with. But now they're saying ball don't lie.
Ball just popped right out. It's the truest form of ball don't lie. Second opportunity here for Candy, and back iron that time. And I was going to say she's lucky she didn't get a foul called, but she got it anyway. We'll go to the other free throw line now as both teams at the bonus.
Yes.
Redhawks still on a 13-2 run over the last 6.5 minutes. And again, it's just the shooting right now from Portland State. It's not allowing them to have that momentum. They're one of their last 13 from the floor. Obviously, the free throw line always helps, but not when you miss them.
Oh, my goodness. So many points left on the board from both teams at the end of this quarter.
Moffitt a chance to tie it up, and she does that with just under 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. $29 all here in Seattle. Both Portland State and Seattle U looking for the first wins of the new campaign. Look at good stop. Can't finish. Gets her own miss. And Larson will help the Redhawks reset.
Yeah, like you said, no reset of the shot clock, I don't
Nope.
believe.
Hit the backboard. No rim there.
A lot of dribbling.
Moore stuck right under the free throw line, and hands get in there. And Portland State might have just bailed out. Kind of a bad overall Red Hawk possession there.
Absolutely, and I mean, I wish those officials would call those when I was in trouble like that.
A little bit of a get out of jail free card.
Absolutely.
Put Olivia Moore at the free throw line. Spokane, Washington native, redshirt sophomore. Coming over from Long Beach State, 11 points in her last outing, and hits the free throw.
There you go. Hopefully that'll help Olivia get in rhythm a little bit. Just seeing the ball go through the net like that.
She's averaging 14 points on the early season, and it's that one as well. Checking back into the ball game for the Vikings. Maybe make that Courtney Turner checking in.
So defensively, Seattle U has about 4 guards in the game.
2-point lead, 31-29 here, and a foul again. And again, that's going to be an issue the later we go into this game, is how many different Red Hawks have fouls on them.
Yeah, and the fouls are coming just from such undisciplined defense. Like, I mean, it's they're either getting beat and there's no foul, or you're giving up an and one, or you're fouling it. Like, in that position, I'm not sure who fouled there. Let's see, Olivia fouled. She was beat. There was no need to foul. You're already beat. Rely on your help side. The help side is not there. They're worried about their man or whatever. So just a little bit of the principles, I would like to see Seattle U tighten up a little bit, and that's why they're in foul trouble, not because the officials are calling it tight. They're literally just getting beat and making poor choices after.
Torres Cajapea, get a chance to tie it up at the free throw line. Broadcaster cursed, but an offensive rebound here from Haltom. Vikings now with the second chance can take the lead here. They dip under a minute. Shot clock at 6. Drive. Up and good. Carter lays it up and puts the Vikings back out in front.
Goes by her defender and goes. The help side defender is nowhere to be found. Worried about her man.
Liggett.
There you go.
Into the corner. Larson 3. Too strong. And staying here again. Oh, never mind. No, it is going against the Red Hawks.
She's got 2.
Just the body language seemed like it was going to stay there.
Yeah, it did look like it was staying.
Edapaiba is going to pick up her second, and again, the amount of Red Hawks who have multiple fouls continues to pile up.
Yeah.
Right now, that is not what you want. 3 right now for Kaslova, 2 for Liggett. Edapaiba, 3 again for Bryan as well, and 2 for Olivia Moore.
Yeah, just a lot of undisciplined defense and a lot of just hustle plays that are going the wrong way, and I think Seattle, you have to just, I know you're hustling for that rebound, but if you're going over somebody's back to do it and you've already in foul trouble, you got to just let that one go.
2 for 2 at the line on that trip for Taylor Moffitt. Four seconds separate shot and game clock here, excuse me. Benini checks in for the first time today. The freshman out of Rome, Italy, standing at 6 foot tall here for head coach Skylar Young's squad. So SU cannot hold for the final possession here. Could pretty much bleed the clock out though. Liggett behind the back, gets the screen. Benini, she gives it up. Juliana Walker, she slips. Second time we've seen someone slip and held ball in favor of Portland State, who have 6.7 to put an exclamation mark on this nice second quarter comeback.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, at the end of the clock, maybe you just want a high ball screen like Coach Skylar Young did, but I want to see Sheridan keep the ball in her hands and make something happen there.
Ball thrown in. Kaipea gives it up. Thinking about the 3 was Fitzgerald. She'll drive in and gets it right at the buzzer. She lets out a scream. The Vikings right now up 5, and that's what they will take into the halftime break after the buzzer.
In this half, I'm definitely looking to see the Vikings' depth. They're going about, I would say, 8 or 9 deep right now, and I think that's the difference in the, obviously both teams are in foul trouble, but I think the Vikings just are a little bit deeper than Seattle U.
Immediately going inside, going back to the leading scorer. No good on that one from Bryan.
Yeah, that's a good, I think that's a good post touch for her. I would like to see her maybe on the right block so she can use her right hand instead of the turnaround, but maybe she likes, Bryan likes the turnaround jumper there.
Vikings with that 5-point lead, looking to add on here. First offensive possession down to 5 on the shot clock. Fitzgerald will tee that up and hits a deep one. Leia Fitzgerald with the 3 and a quick whistle called.
Yeah, just a delay of game warning. She must have slapped the ball down. But, Seattle U has to be able to make that adjustment. That's at least the 3rd deep 3 that I've seen from the Vikings. So they've got to know that they're not close to the line. They got to get up a little bit closer.
3 ball makes it an 8-point game. Too strong that time off the attempt from Edapaiba.
Yeah, missed assignment there on defense. Seattle U wasn't able to knock that jumper down. Took a lot of traveling over there.
Ball knocked free. Red Hawks force another turnover here, but nearly give it right back. Good recovery there from Sydney Rodriguez. Look at downhill, gets it right back. Trying to go up that screen from Bryan. Instead steps into a 3, no good. Comes off the lip.
Yeah, those are tough shots.
Fitzgerald left open. Hot hand she has. Knocks it down.
Yeah, she's their best 3-point shooter. I'm really surprised that she was that wide open. But as you see, Seattle U, we get defenders falling down on one end and not able to make the transition back. And get a wide open 3 from Fitzgerald.
So Fitzgerald, 6 points here in the second half already for the Vikings. Rebuttal 3, that one is leading left, but it hit off the glass. Kaslova answers back.
I like the timeout there from Skylar.
Big one there, timeout. Early timeout taken. We'll take one as well. We'll step away here on ESPN Plus. Back here inside the Red Hawk Center, YMCA blasting through the speakers. 42-34 our score as the Vikings now up to an 8-point lead as coming out like gangbusters. Leah Fitzgerald, multiple threes so far early on, but the bank shot rebuttal there from Taisia Koslova helps the Red Hawks. But right now, Portland State riding the high wave as they have the 8-point lead.
Yeah, hopefully this early timeout from Coach Skylar Young can get them, the Seattle Redhawks, going, because I don't think he liked what they were, the level of competition. Maybe the focus wasn't there to start the half, and you just can't have that. As you see, Portland State can score in bunches.
Vikings using the long ball so far in this half. There's Fitzgerald. She'll pull up inside the arc this time. A little too close for her.
Yeah, you see, they ran her off the line a little bit. Did get lost, on the drive, but still pretty good defense overall. Oh.
Redhawks coming the other way. Transition three, thought about it, but shuffling on the feet.
Yeah, and once again, running those shooters off the line, they got a little bit of a bag, but not that big of a bag. So, if you're young and watching, run those shooters off the line, make them make a different play. Threes are bigger than twos, and you'll hear your coach say that all the time.
That is
run them
very
off the
true.
line.
So after the turnover here, Viking ball once again. Horn action going downhill. Dribble drive inside. Look at the physicality. Turnaround shot is good. Great possession there from Lana Wenger.
Yeah, that's good for Wenger. If she's able to, really make that motor go in her game, I think she's going to be one of the best players in their conference. But to me, she just kind of hangs back and lets the game come to her. I want to see her be more aggressive, really take her game to the next level.
Beautiful post move, but just no finish that time from Bryan.
Yeah, once again, I want to see her on that right block. I'm not sure. She's using her right hand. I want to see her on that right block so she doesn't have to turn around so much. She could just finish at the rim like this.
As Portland State now ballooning that up to a 12-point advantage.
Yeah, and it's just the help side defense is when it is there, it's too much, and it's, you know, the slam down isn't there. So I'm not, as we see, Koslova gets a nice deep three here. Three to the dome.
She's been the run stopper so far. She now takes the team lead in points with 11. Another triple there. Averaging just 5.5 points a game, coming off a 2.1 of 6 shooting day against Sam Houston. Clearly not holding that over into this one. And an air ball on the other side from Portland State, nearly save it, but Fitzgerald had a foot on the baseline.
Yeah, but that's that transition or that press defense, though. And obviously, you're allowed to do that on a made basket, but it made Portland State shoot a rush shot, and that's just as good as a turnover.
The Redhawks continue to ride the hot hand of Kasalova. And Bryan extending the range, no good. Long rebound, corralled there by Moffitt.
Got a stop ball here. No foul.
And no whistle, but still the points.
Yeah, I mean, at least before in the first half, that was a foul. First off, the guard can't get beat that fast, and then the post player and help side defense is just non-existent. I mean, I don't know when Coach Skylar Young watches this back, he can't be happy. But this help side defense is very, very bad. I'll just say.
And that one just tickles the rim on the attempt as the Vikings will let it go out of bounds, taking us to immediate timeout. As right now, 48-37, Vikings on the road with an 11-point lead. 4:52 left to go here in the third quarter on ESPN+. Back here on the hardwood. 4:50 left to go here in the third quarter. So far, Portland State out front in this one by 11. Three ball has been the theme here of the opening quarter of this second half. Drive, kick back out. Haltom. Entry pass, Ugle. Ugle going to work. Switch inside the rim and finishes off.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of resistance there. I mean, it's tough for the post player to play one-on-one, but I would like to see a guard get in there, get their hand in there, make it a little bit tougher for her.
50-37, 13-point lead now. Leggett trying to cut into it. Not going to do that with the ball hitting the baseline.
Yeah, definitely tough. They're starting to press a little bit, as we saw, like in the middle of the first quarter. Seattle U has to keep working that ball around, get some assists going, get your energy going, and then you can start to shoot those deep threes.
Trap here by the Red Hawks. Vikings just able to break it. No, timeout is going to be taken by Chelsea Gregg. They might have been able to squeeze out of that trap, but Gregg wants to be more safe than sorry on that one. Yeah. So timeout. We'll stay here on this one, a 30-second timeout. 4:04. What do the Red Hawks, Olivia Crawford, need to do now to kind of get that momentum back? We've seen the pendulum swing back and forth between each side. Seattle U now a little bit back on their heel again. You see the press coming in. Is that what they need to go to?
Yeah, I mean, I think that their defense in the front court has been good, but when they get down here, or excuse me, in the back court has been good. But when they get down here in the front court where they have to defend and stop multiple drives, that's when they get into trouble. So I do think speeding the game up as much as possible is good. But as you see, that was off of a dead ball, off of the air ball by Sheridan. So what they need to do more so is making sure that their help side is there. I don't even care if you're sending two people to be in help. You need to be there because, you're getting blown by and there's no resistance. And then offensively, share the ball, move the ball.
Just saw a shot there of Skylar Young, again, in his second year of being at the helm of this program. And the 6-23 record last season. All six, Olivia, you don't see this too often. All 6 wins on the season came in conference play.
Yeah.
Nearly were able to get a ticket punched down to Vegas. Came up just a bit short. But still, you saw the team coming together. You saw Skylar Young's vision for this program come together as the season went on. And the more recruiting classes, the more transfer you see come in, kind of fit that identity. I think you're going to start seeing big improvements here on First Hill. Three-point shot knocked down. Olivia Moore. Right on cue, makes it a 10-point game. It's a scoring drought the last 2.5 minutes for the Red Hawks.
There we go, much better help side there. Dig a little bit.
Yeah, the height advantage down on that post in favor of Wenger, but he has to work it out. Shot clock down to 8. Haltom. Stopped. Three-point shot kicked out. No good. Did it touch anybody? It did not. Red Hawk ball.
Yeah, I mean, that was first off really good defense from Seattle U there. The Vikings were trying to move that ball. They were getting good attacks, but the defense was just swarming from Seattle U there. They have to be able to sustain that going late into the quarter, when there's not a media to save you, and I think that's the big thing with Seattle U.
Dip under 3 minutes here in the third quarter.
There she is. Ooh.
Trying to get that entry pass.
Yeah, I got to snap that one in.
Hit a a little too lazy on the pass. Vikings still in command here.
Where's that help side defense? See, there's the dig I was talking about.
Fitzgerald, another three. Oh, man. Shooting lights out here is Alea Fitzgerald. Another one to her credit. She's up to 14 on 4 of 6 now, shooting from 3.
Right, and the dig, but also know your personnel. You're not going to leave the shooter open on the dig. You're not digging off the three-point shooter.
Right back, Chisteina Bryan. Can't trade 2s for 3s, though, if you're the Red Hawks. Bryan now with 12. Reclaims the scoring lead on the team from Casalova.
Seattle, you just kind of hanging around right now. They're not really letting the game get too out of hand, so that's respectable.
Got to keep it within a run here.
Nice
Good
move.
drive on the baseline.
Yes. You see Coach Boston, this is Showtime, Aaliyah Boston over there. I mean, that's just amazing because she's probably their post coach doing a play like that. I mean, you got to stand up and give her some pump up there. That's a beautiful play.
Another three. This one leaning right. No good. Long rebound. And it should have been a foul, it looks like. Nothing called. As Candy hit it by. Lucky she didn't get to pick up another foul there. That would have been her third. Fitzgerald quickly whips it around. Vikings working it on the horn. Scoop shot, no good. Offensive rebound. Turnaround shot, left short. Downhill, quick attack, Olivia Moore.
Swing, swing.
Three-point shot again, trying to extend that range. No good from Bryan. Under a minute now in the quarter. Red Hawks, second chance. Moore being harassed right now. Yeah. And a foul finally called. Torres Caipaya was doing a good job of pressuring without fouling, but got caught there the last second.
Yeah, I don't mind it. You know, it's as crazy as it sounds. That was the first foul of this quarter, according to the scoreboard. But, I mean, wow. Much different than what we saw the last half.
Red Hawks a bit of a stack play here. Bryan the only one not in the formation. Staying a near side block closest to Keslova. Checking in will be Caitlin Best, freshman out of Phoenix, Arizona. 6'3". She's going to be on Bryan, who gets the inbound. Cool power dribbles out to Leggett. Leggett, nice spin move, goes up, no good off the glass.
Wow.
Cleaning it up like Windex going in, Chisteina Bryan.
Yeah, I mean, that's
EN plus. Start of the fourth and final quarter here, 57-44. Some work to be done by the home squad if they want to avoid a 0-3 start. Florida State, again, trying to avoid the same exact fate to start the year, and right now they have the cushion.
much better.
But a chance here for the Red Hawks to cut into it.
Yeah, that was just much better help side defense, giving some sort of resistance there.
Nearly a poke free steal. Toss out. Red Hawks still retain possession.
I like this.
Pass
This is good
inside.
post up.
Keslova on the block. Backing down. Has the height advantage and left it short off the glass. Fitzgerald try to thread the needle. You see the length there of Seattle U knocking it away. Leggett will set it up. Red zone. Trying to back the Red Hawks here.
See what play. It looks a little too slow and stagnant for me, especially for a team down 13 points.
Leggett's going to get the screen. Come off it left side. Looks at the three. Got to get something off. Down to two. Feed it to the post. Not the way to do it. Did she get it off in time? No. Not in time. No one just seemed to be looking at the basketball.
Yeah, I mean, I told you, bro. I was like, I don't like this, especially for a team that was, down double digits. They got to play with a lot more pace than that. I get brick by brick, but you got to at least put a brick up.
Check back in. Lucy Larson, the freshman. Fun fact for her, in that we talked about the turnover struggle for Seattle U last time out. She was the only player to play in that game at Sam Houston that did not have a turnover.
You see, and you love that from the freshman because usually it's always the other way around. Pretty good help side defense there. I'd like to see a charge called.
The Vikings have had plenty of chances to extend that lead. Larson, the trailer, jabbed at the 3.
I like that. That's a good decision. Now, see if Olivia Moore can get going downhill here.
Moore showing off the handles.
That's nice.
Popping out. Kaslova, no good. Redhawks need that to fall. And look at, once again, Lucy Larson, the freshman, with an offensive rebound.
Just making energy plays. Koslova's got to add a little bit more to her game. I think that could really take it to the next level.
Look at working her way down in the painted area. Turn around, right hook shot off glass, no good. Falls in the hands of Wenger.
I'd also like to see some more play calls for Sheridan outside of a high ball screen, especially coming off that major knee surgery. I want to see her ease into it a little more. She's having a lot of the ball handling. Oh,
high scoop shot. A foul was called. That's what affected Lainey Torres-Capea's shot there. So she'll be at the line for 2. Kaslova, the guilty party, her 3rd of the game. Foul trouble not as big now as you said, only 1 foul was called there in that 3rd quarter. So everybody that was in foul trouble just kind of stayed where they were. So really 3 fouls in the 4th quarter, not the biggest deal. But Chisteina Bryan will come back into the ball game, taking out Lucy Larson. Torres-Capea with 8 points. 1 trip to the free throw line. She split them. Looking to get to double digits on her night. First one up and bottom of the net. Second one just like the first. Vikings starting to pull away here in the 4th. 59-44.
Yeah, moving forward, I'd like to see the Vikings not just have this switch mentality. You know, especially if they want to make some noise in their conference, they've got to be able to keep it on the whole time and not just play down to the opponent's level.
Moore had it stripped on her drive, but it was last touched by the Vikings. Getting it, Redhawks starting to get a little cold from the field. Not the time to do it. Those free throws are first points here in the second half. What extended this lead to 15.
Another late clock.
Down to 6. Look at again, and a bailout there. Is Fitzgerald going to get called with the block there. Yeah. 3rd one on her. Both teams with 1 team foul here in the 4th quarter.
Once again, I mean, like, it's late clock, it's a high ball screen. It's really hard to score going downhill like that, you know, every time. I want to see Sheridan get a play call that's a little bit more for her to get off of a screen, like an off-ball screen, so she can get her shot going. Especially with Olivia in the game running point guard.
Kaslova a little deep on that one. Look at good steal inside from Bryan, but pass well out of her reach, out of bounds. Another turnover here for SU. Full court press being applied now.
There you go. As soon as she turns her back, you go.
Trap comes. Oh, beautiful crossover there from Torres-Capea to get into the front court. Now shot inside, doesn't go. Poked out of bounds. Last touched by the Vikings. Coach Gregg was saying, might agree with her on that one. That was poked out by the Redhawks, but no review.
Yeah.
Might have to agree with her on that one.
Yeah, I think so too.
Both these coaches looking for their first NCAA appearance at their institutions.
So this zone is giving Seattle U a little bit of a headache here.
Baseline Bryan quickly back out. Again, shot clock getting low in all these possessions. 3-point shot, no good. Up back iron, corral there. Bryan's second chance turnaround shot, no good. Not sure if it's deflected or not, but the Vikings get the ball regardless.
Yeah, just so many deep threes, pass, deep three. I would like to see some dribble penetration with this zone defense.
Dip under 6 on this Viking possession. Troy Scape.
It's good defense there.
Down on the block. Looking to pass it off to somebody. Shot clock down to 3. Got to get a shot off. 1. Troy Scape. No good. Long rebound picked up by Moore of the Redhawks.
I think that was Seattle U's best defensive stand the whole night.
And SU has to start chipping away. Juliana Walker going to check in. She can definitely do that in a lazy pass, taken away by Fitzgerald. Just hanging in the passing lane, saw her opportunity and jumped it.
Yeah, like I said, that zone defense is just, especially with the length of the Vikings, is just giving Seattle U some
good two-man game there. Oh my goodness, beautiful basketball right there between Kaylee Brown and Lena Wagner. Excuse me.
This looks like they're a little tired. I'd like to see some subs in. I'm not sure if Seattle's looking to wave that white flag or not, but that a defensive play like that is, yeah, a timeout, something.
Timeout's going to get Juliana Walker in the game, and as you said, give a breather for the Redhawks. They're going to need a run coming out of this timeout. 30-second timeout here.
Yeah,
and again, SU, they have to start now. Right. I would have said they had to start 2 minutes ago, but now is definitely when they have to.
Absolutely. I mean, it's only 17 points, but I'm telling you, it feels like 30. And I know the athletes feel like that too. And I think that's the hard part. But I did see a lot of competition and a lot of, players like Sheridan and Olivia really, getting their teammates together. I just think the way that they came out in this second half just really wasn't the level of focus that they had in that second quarter. Obviously, there's still a lot of time left. If they want to show some fight, then, I'm down with it. I want to see a good ball game. But it does seem like Portland State's defense has just been suffocating Seattle. You can't even get the ball past the free throw line.
Portland State shooting 46% in this game, 32% for the Redhawks. But that 3-ball right now been the separator. Portland State's only made 2 more threes, but they are 9 of 21 for 43%, 7 of 25 for the Redhawks, and that percentage has dropped a lot lately as they've been putting up a lot of threes and just haven't been falling.
Yeah, not falling, and because they're really not great shots. Like, I'm comfortable, when Koslova's shooting some of those, but I think when you got like 2 passes and you're throwing up a three ball, I think that's a really tough shot to make, especially off the dribble a lot for Sheridan and Olivia. So, sometimes it's fool's gold when it's going in early, but late in the game, you got to be able to run some plays. You got to be able to run, some time off the clock, get that ball inside, and make some, nice plays. We haven't really seen Candy get going this second half either. I would like to see, some plays ran for her too. But yes, overall, definitely the tale of 2 halves for Seattle U.
If this score does hold, currently the Redhawks lead the all-time series 6-5, so that will even up. And it has lately been all Vikings. Winner of the last 3 in the series. Last time these 2 teams saw each other was last season. A 75-68 win for Portland State at home. Very early in last season, about just exactly a month ago, close to it. Just a week or so off, but again, that's not what you want for your Northwest rivals either. You don't want anybody having the advantage over you. So moving to 6-6 when you had clearly been dominating the series, and now it seems like Portland State very much in recent history has been the more victorious side.
Yes, absolutely. I still remember when Portland State was playing in that gym, like I believe it was like upstairs in a church or near a church, and now they got that new facility. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Beautiful arena they have down there on the campus of Portland State.
Yeah. Definitely come a long way, as is Seattle U, but
I'll say both the Portland schools with very nice arena. Child Center, obviously, for the University of Portland as well, which is where the Redhawks will be heading next. But here on this one, 61-44, Redhawks got to start knocking down shots. And not sure if an injury occurred there. It looks like it did, as Rodriguez came up limp. Down to 3 on the shot clock. Bryan got to get it up. She does, and 1. Maybe that can be the spark starter.
There you go. I like that. A little bit of a broken play. Get that and 1 going. Chest bump your teammates. Let's go.
And Sydney Rodriguez clearly was in pain on that one on the block. She'll check out for Sheridan Leggett. Bryan needs to knock down the free throw here.
Yeah, hope she's okay. I'm not sure if it was knee-to-knee contact or if she just went limp in general.
And one finished off there from Bryan. Very good game for her, 17 points. And coming off a 2-point performance, she had 6 rebounds in that game, but still a good bounce back on the score tally.
Travel.
Yep, she saw it from a mile away, dragging of the foot there.
Yeah, she does drag her feet a little bit there, but I mean that's the purpose of. You can see all the coaches telling them to slow down. Like you don't just because Seattle U is playing with their hair on fire does not mean you need to as well. But yes, good defensive trap there from Seattle U.
Moore, corner Bryan, a little far from the basket. More you want her.
Yeah, Seattle U definitely has to rep their zone offense. There's a lot of standing around waiting for something to happen.
Ball was deflected in Fitzgerald. Who else? She wasn't the one who deflected it, but she's the one who's going to corral it.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no one to pass it to. Everybody's standing and watching. So I don't know. I'm sure they've been repping it, but they need to rep it a lot more with game reps.
Vikings content to take their time on every possession now.
Nice little stutter step
up
there.
and good, and that even adds to it as Kylie Brown, with another one here.
Yeah, that's really hard to do on the baseline there like that too. Really nice stutter step. Put that on the highlight tape.
Clock getting close to midnight here for the Red Hawks. Bryan was fouled on the drive.
But if you see that, Bryan has the ball, short corner, deep corner, and nobody's moving. I think Candy moved to the high post, and that was it. Like, there's got to be more movement on the backside. Get a skip pass going, something with energy.
Taisia Katsalova checks back into the ball game for the Red Hawks. Entry pass down low to her. Couple dribbles, shimmy, shake, goes up, and a foul is going to be called. As Ugale swung down.
That's where I want to see Koslova grow her game a little bit there, because I mean most teams are going to run her off the three, and if she's able to have this little mini post-up game, I think that can really help Seattle U and her.
And actually credit that foul to Brown. That will be the second one on her. 4th team foul on the Vikings. Koslova knocks down the front end of her free throws. Another play with another great bounce back performance. 2 points at Sam Houston. Now in this one has 12, make it 13. Quick timeout taken here by Skylar Young. Again, we've seen a lot of college basketball, Olivia, you and I, but by no means out of the realm of possibility. Little far stretch. But again, we said we want to see from both squads put together a solid game. I don't think either side put a complete game together. Obviously, when there's a game of so many runs and lulls, probably not the best complete game. But if you are the Red Hawks, what do you want to see out of this final 3 minutes to kind of give you momentum heading down to another tough matchup in Portland?
Absolutely. I mean, Portland plays also as a really strong zone defense as well. So I do think Seattle U has to be able to get some movement going down on offense. I think their defense is a lot better the second half. The help side, we saw a couple shot clock violations and some last desperation shots from the Vikings. So I think offensively is where it has to start. Getting some movement on offense, diving to the basket, maybe get Bryan get another and one, but I want to see some movement on the offensive end.
Getting that full court pressure, looking for the trap, and they get it. Look it, gets it, takes
And
the
one.
bump, and travel
Whoa.
home.
Travel.
I
That's
thought
tough.
for sure the bump was before the travel, if anything.
Yes, the bump definitely was before the travel, and maybe it could have been on the ground, but I think the official has to call the first one instead of the third one.
So reset, trap comes again. Good job from Brown to just spin out of it.
Beautiful.
Torres Capehe tries to dump it off to Ugale, out of bounds.
Yeah, and as Torres Capehe gets a little bit better and grows a little bit, I mean, that's just, she's able to get into the teeth of the defense, at will. And I like the bounce pass that she just threw her post player. Obviously, it's got to be a little bit more heat on it, and then it'll come up, and that'll be a beautiful bounce pass.
She was a Gatorade National Player of the Year in Hawaii. Now playing for the Vikings. 3-point shot for Moore. Just leaned right. Ball tipped out. Last touched by the Red Hawks. And a lot of MVPs or national players. Juliana Walker, a Gatorade National Player of the Year for the Red Hawks. Joy Howlam. Howlam was a Kinko 3A MVP. Talked about her at Juanita. Yeah. A lot of really prestigious high school careers between these two rosters.
Yes, absolutely. Especially when the Kinko was something back in the day. I remember, you know, the Clevelands of the world.
Yeah.
Or that was the Metro League, excuse me. The Kinko was pretty strong too.
Down to 7. Run off the 3-point line, pulls up for the midi is Brown and knocks it down. And right now the Vikings are doing exactly what they need to do in order to ice this game.
Absolutely, just taking what the defense gives them. Seattle U is starting to get just a little bit tired, and obviously the game is getting ready to conclude.
That one no good either, Gaslova. And, ooh, geez, nearly blindside shot there from Olivia Moore. That will be against her. That'll be her second team foul.
I like it. I mean, you got to take some chances. I just want to see offensively, like you said, going into Portland. Portland's going to play the same matchup zone defense, so I want to see Seattle U move that ball and just not be so afraid to cut and make something happen. I want to see them rep that.
Obviously, Skylar Young coming out of that Portland coaching staff. 80 seconds remain in regulation here. Portland State looks like they're going to even up the all-time series between these two schools. And the fader on the baseline knocked down there from Ogle.
Yeah, post coach on the Vikings is just got to be so proud. I mean, we've seen fadeaways, we've seen rip-throughs, reverse layups for the post players. Just really good footwork from the post coach over there.
Look at corner 3, knocked down there. Ends a 3.5-minute no field goal stretch there for the Red Hawks.
Yep.
And was that deflected? No, just careless turnover here.
That's good there. You can see Coach Greg emptying the bench, getting everybody in.
Everybody gets minutes in this one for the Vikings. Red Hawks, no substitutions.
These are the ones. Yeah, I mean, these are the ones when, you know, you're ice cold. Your coach says get in the game because, you know, you're freshman trying to get some minutes. You got to make something happen.
3, Olivia Moore, no good. Heel, offensive rebound. Up, under, step through, everything in the bag there for Chisteina Bryan.
Yes.
And a timeout, loudly taken by Chelsea Craig.
Yeah, dance that ball.
She's not happy at all. But still a 13-point game, very comfortable lead with 38.3 seconds remaining. Officials want to check where they want to inbound the ball. They're doing it right in front of us here by the scorer's table.
Yeah, I mean, here's where the Vikings can, you know, go ahead and show their coach. Obviously, they're not going to shoot the ball really fast, but being able to execute a sideline out of bounds play at the end of the game, so.
Yeah, next up for the Vikings, back home in the PDX, taking on Cal State Fullerton. They have a good amount of time off, about a week. They'll be back in action Sunday, November 24th. That trip south for the Red Hawks a little sooner. They head to the Rose City on Tuesday, November 19th, to take on what is eventually going to be their true rival in the WCC, the Portland Pilots.
Yeah.
Especially with Gonzaga announcing their departure. That I-5 rivalry, the Coffee Cup in other sports, is definitely going to be at the forefront in the Northwest. And stolen away by the Red Hawks. And Opaiba drives in, and a foul is called. And Trey Altum is the one guilty for the Vikings.
Coach is putting them right back in the game so they can get fouled and the game doesn't get out of hand. I don't know why. You know, that definitely doesn't get your confidence going, but, you know, you got to do your job. You got to do your job no matter how much time you get.
Candy Adepaiba at the free throw line here. Going to cut a little bit more into this deficit, almost to 24.3. All you can kind of do is cut. Now 2 points for her. She's definitely impacted the game a lot more than on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
And comes up short on the first one. I mentioned hustle plays, you know, coming up defensively. So those 2 points do not indicate the type of performance she had today.
Absolutely. Rebounds, assists, you know, tipping the ball to her teammates. It's incredible.
Redhawks still staying active. Got to give them credit. Thrown ahead. And Candy should get another 2, and she does. At 3.8, Vikings are going to dribble this one out. And that will be it of this one. Portland State Vikings get the first win of the 24-25 season. They move to 1-2. Next up, Cal State Fullerton for them back home. On the flip side for the Red